after estimation, we'll talk about hypothesis. So it is a third form of statistical inference. The second form was estimation, and now we'll talk about third form. So why we call it like first, second, and third? Because initially we have descriptive analysis with the help of mean, median, mode, and other central tendencies. Then we have the first form of statistical inference with the help of standard deviations, variance. Then second form is about estimation because it was based on mean and standard deviation. Now on the basis of estimation, we'll go to the next level of our analysis, and we call it hypothesis testing. So before we test it, let us we understand what is hypothesis, how we formulate. Unless until we will not formulate it, we cannot test it. So it allows us to make inferences about a population parameter by analyzing differences between the result observed and the result expected based on underlying hypothesis. So let's see what is the relation between the sample and population here and how we formulate the hypothesis. So before we see it, how to write it, you see one of the examples here, how to write a hypothesis here. Actually, whenever we write hypothesis, it is a set of hypotheses, H0 and H1. These always are opposite of each other. This is called null hypothesis. H, sometimes we call it 0, or sometimes we call it HO. I'll tell you later on what is the difference between these two. So how to denote it? H0 or HO colon, and then you write your hypothesis here. So how to write it? You can write in some numerical form, that we always hypothesize about the population. So you see mean of the population mu. We never write x bar. Make sure we are not we are not writing about sample. We talk always about the population. So mean, we expect, this is our estimation, this is our hypothesis, that the mean of this population is $100, or it can be written in a sentence that the average salary of this company is $100. So it depends. So we always talk about population. And opposite of that, what is opposite? Not equal. So always you see we write two hypotheses and it is denoted by H1, or sometime we write HA. So when you call it HO, null hypothesis, we call it HA. When we call it H0, we write H1. So either 1 or A, both are actually denotes the alternative hypothesis. So always hypotheses are written into a set, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, and these two are opposite of each other. So what we want to do, we expect something, so we write that it is equal to something, and then write it is not equal to that particular number. And with the help of our test, so it is called formulation, so we form it. Now we will test it with the help of some statistical tools and techniques, and we'll check which one is correct. If it is correct, it is not correct. If it is correct, it is not correct. So one of them will be correct, and we do not say correct or incorrect. Say if it is accepted, accept, it means we call rejected. So always we cannot accept both together, because it is not possible, because these are opposite of each other. Make sure one of them will be accepted and one of them will be rejected. If we reject them, this one, null hypothesis, we'll say it is accepted. So with the help of our statistical tool, we clearly define which is accepted and which one is rejected. If it is accepted, say yes, the mean of the population is $100. If it is accepted, we say no, mean is not equal to the $100. And sometime author, we use term reject and accept. Sometime we use instead of saying accept, we say do not reject. So don't confuse about this. Both are valid in statistics. Either you write accept or reject, or you write do not reject and reject. Both are same. So I hope you have some idea that what is the meaning of hypothesis. So actually hypothesis is kind of a statement or kind of estimation about population, that something is some statement is correct or not. So we hypothesize two hypotheses opposite of each other, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. At the end of that, you have to accept one and reject another one. So this is the initial idea about the hypothesis. But there are so many things about hypothesis. So let me show you that how many hypotheses are possible. So suppose with same example we hypothesize that that first hypothesis is mean of the population is equal to 100, and immediately we hypothesize that alternative or HA or H1 mean is not equal to 100. So make sure whenever you have to write hypothesis, you write first equal then not equal, right? But these are not only the hypotheses, there are so many other hypotheses which are possible. Let's see what is the second possible hypothesis. There is another possibility that we would like to know about, that mean is less than 100 or equal to 100. Please understand this one. Not only sometimes we ask equal, it can be less than or it can be more than an equal. So please understand how many null hypotheses are possible. 3. The third one, because it is less than equal to, so we'll talk about more than equal to, and it is less than. So now you see three different rules of hypothesis, that there are 6 possible hypotheses. These are grouped into 3 set: equal, non equal, more than equal, less than equal with more than equal, more than equal with less than. So always read the question carefully. Initially we'll give you the direct hypothesis, no need to formulate it, but later on we'll give you hypothesis in the paragraph in business problems. Then you see which question they are asking, with which hypothesis they are asking, and select the set 1, 2 or 3. So one of them, you cannot select all of them, only one. If you are selecting this, it is the proper way. First write the null hypothesis with equal sign, and then write the alternate hypothesis without equal sign. So these are the rules which you have to careful. Don't change the sequence. Don't mix 1 or 2 or 2 with 3. It is always come in a set. Right? So these are the certain initial thing which you have to remember. Step number 1, read question carefully and see which hypothesis, set of hypothesis is suitable for your question, first, second or third, and then write in a proper order, write the proper sign. First we'll talk about mean only, because it is the test of mean only, and then write the proper sign which is asked. So read question, select which question they are asking, less than, more than, equal, not equal, equal and more, something like that, and select the best hypothesis set. Then immediately draw the diagram. Right, so what we are trying here, equal and non-equal. So it is called two-tailed test. When there is a first set, the first hypothesis is called two-tailed, and it has two tails, and the first and the left side, another. These are tails. And then what we do, for your convenience, I am showing the area within these two tails. Right. If you select the second one, it is called one-tailed. One-tailed right hand side. Right hand side. This is called one-tailed, one-tail or tailed left hand side. So one tail here, how we draw it? See, the alternate hypothesis is saying more than, so we'll go to the right side, right? Only one line, and the area covered will be everything on the left side. This area will be clean. If you choose the third set, you have to draw this. Everybody has to, first you have to write correct hypothesis and then draw the correct. So it is, you see the alternate hypothesis less than, so go to the left side, and this is your area. So now you see, when you select the first set where it is equal and not equal, you find 2 points, same points, equal distance, but one in minus, another is plus. These are z values, so z will come both plus and minus. When you select the second part, second set where we talk about less than, equal and more than, then you see z will come with positive value, 1 only. And if you select the third one, you see the z value will be negative. So please remember, hypothesis testing is very technical and needs a lot of steps. If you follow these steps, your answer will be right. Okay. Now what does it mean? So it means that if your points, if your sample is within this, we say accept. Accept or do not reject, meaning is same. If your point is here, accept null hypothesis. Always we use null hypothesis. We never select, we never decide about the alternate. We always write accept or reject null hypothesis. So if your point is here, we say reject null hypothesis. If your point is here, we say reject your null hypothesis. So we'll always, if you answer accept and reject, what accept and reject? Null hypothesis. Unless until you will not give the complete answer, you will not get the correct solution for that. In this case, one tailed right hand side, if your point is here, we say accept null hypothesis. If your point lies here, we say reject. Always null hypothesis. Make sure never write alternate. But if you select this one, then if your point is here, you say reject null hypothesis. If your point is here, we say accept your null hypothesis. So major issue we have to find with the help of our data analysis whether what is the value of your z. Then we can decide it is inside the range, inside the area of acceptance or rejection area. So how to calculate? So we have, either you use z or it can be t, z or t. So I hope you remember why we use z and t. When the sigma is given, then we use z. When s is given, then we use t. How to calculate? So we have a formula for that. So the formula is this one. if sigma known, the mean of the sample minus mean of the population divided by standard deviation of the population divided by root n. Same formula is here, there is no difference here. Instead of sigma, now we have S. So what is the formula here? How to calculate Z or T? You need both mean, you need at least one standard deviation and sample size. Same way, there is not much difference. Instead of sigma, we will use this one. And we'll see whether this point is inside that or outside, and how to check it. So we'll use, our tables and check whether this point is inside or outside. But if you remember, I said if you remember few things, few at least 90, 95 and 99, that is give you an instant answer. So I hope you get the steps clearly, and then now we'll start solving one problem. Or before we start solving one problem, let's see what they write here. So if you remember, it is a two-tailed test where we write equal and non-equal, not equal. It can be one-tailed test, it can be like this. There one second set of this, how to write it, and can be a third set. So always see null hypothesis include the equal sign, and opposite will be the alternate hypothesis. And then, as I said, we need to check at 95% or 90%. Don't calculate or 99%. So these are the major values which we check. It is our exception or rejection area, and that will be from Z or T values. We'll see later on how to see it. We call it critical values. Critical values will decide the area, and then how to calculate Z and T values. If this Z comes within the acceptance region, we say accept null hypothesis, or it comes outside. If you accept null hypothesis, automatically you reject this one. But if it is outside, we write reject null hypothesis. So always we give our decision in hypothesis, null hypothesis, and automatically we use the opposite term for alternate hypothesis. Okay, now this is a very simple exercise which will give you the idea. Hubbard wants to know with 95%. Now very clearly 95% level of confidence that the serial boxes contain more than 500. Now see, more than. So you have to be very careful, equal to 500, more than or more than equal. So more than, very clearly the sign is this. What they are asking, what they are estimating, what they are hypothesizing, mean is more than 500. Now you have to go back and see where this sign you see. So you don't see here, you don't see, yes, you see here. It means it is the one-tail right-hand side test with alternate hypothesis. So it means you will select this and you will select this diagram. You will not choose first and third, you will choose the second one. Right, so write and now another thing, that population, instead of population, sample standard deviation is given. Sample size is 25, sample mean is given, sample standard deviation given, and sample size is given. So all informations are available here, and now we will put everything on the, so you see this, we have selected the second one, right hand test, one tailed. Clearly first step is you have to write the correct hypothesis, the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. Then you have to select the which formula you will use test statistic, and no, before that it is known or unknown. It was unknown, then you will use t test. Right here you will use t test. T distribution, we will use T distribution. And then third C at 9, they are asking at 95% confidence interval or 5% of significance level. So we'll see the value from T table. I said table, you have to use T table here. So you see it is a one tail test. Please remember, one tail, you have to write one tail test. Right? So you see here at the 95%, the critical value is plus. Please make sure we are talking about the right hand rule. Plus 1.7. Draw here, write here 1.7. And when you go left side, it goes towards 0. So all smaller value will come this side and larger value will come on the right side, because 1.33 is less than 1.77. So it will come in this area, or which area? Except null hypothesis. So here you will say, because 1.331 is less than 1.77, both are positive, false, non-rejection or acceptance area. So we accept it. So we'll say accept null hypothesis, accept null hypothesis, or do not, the meaning is same, or do not reject null hypothesis. Right? So at 5% level of significance, we accept null hypothesis. What is our null hypothesis? Go back and see what is our hypothesis. We accept this and reject this. Please understand, we accept this and reject this. So what is our answer? That the box contain less than or equal to 500. Let's see. What is it? That boxes, we reject it. So what is your solution here? Decision is the null hypothesis that it contains less than or equal to, what was the number? 500. We accept it and we reject this. Now how we answer our question? We reject it. Please understand what is our decision. We accept that this box, serial box, contains less than or equal to 500, and we reject that it has more than 500. So let's see, go back and see your conclusion. So the Hobart wants to know whether 95% level of confidence that is serial box contain more than 500. No, answer is no, because with the help of our hypothesis we accept that it has less than or equal to 500. So the claim of the Hubbards is not correct, because it contains less than equal to. So in this way you have to be very careful. First you need to identify which set of hypotheses you have to write, which Z or T second, then at what percent of level and what is the value. It is, I said, if you select the first set, the value will be both plus and minus. You will write both plus and minus, minus for this, plus for this. If you are selecting this, it is only plus value. Table, when this is what when we check from the table. If you are selecting this, it always write in negative side, this side. So we'll see all three different type of questions. So it's actually 6 different types of questions, one by one, and we'll see that how can we decide which hypothesis is correct, whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected. There is another alternative approach, we call it t value.